Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to AJ108 Criminal Investigation. My name is Tony Farrar, and I will be your instructor for this semester. But first, just a little bit about myself. I have over 34 years of law enforcement experience, retiring in December of 2015 as the Chief of Police for the City of Rialto Police Department, located in San Bernardino County, California. My education consists of a master's degree in police administration, a master's degree in business administration, and a master's degree in criminology and police management from the University of Cambridge Institute of Criminology, in all places, Cambridge, England. And we'll talk a little bit more throughout the semester on what it's like to attend college in the UK, because it was actually pretty cool. But this morning's lecture is going to cover the syllabus review. Now, it's very important to remember that your course check-in consists of two parts. The first part being the discussion board check-in, and the second part being the syllabus quiz. And you can find all of that information, along with a lot of other information, in the week 1 orientation module. Please take the time to navigate through the entire module and see all of the information that is there to help you be successful. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and jump right into this morning's syllabus review. So again, starting at the top, if you're following along, and I hope you are, this is AJ108 Criminal Investigation. The section number is 3127. And we are in the fall 2020 semester, and this is the online version of the course. Directly beneath that information, I have my instructor contact information. I am located, or my office is located, on the Menifee campus. I have listed here my phone number, my email, and my Twitter account information. I've also listed a couple of links that I hope are helpful to you. The first one is the link to the Criminal Justice Club Facebook page. This is a group of students that get together either weekly or bi-weekly and discuss issues in criminal justice. They create study groups, and they just have a great time doing a lot of community service events and a lot of different training opportunities and discussing employment opportunities. So if you're interested in any of that, please check out their Facebook page. And then directly below that, I have the link to the MSJC Career Ed website. So if you need to get in touch with a counselor or to further define your pathway, your career pathway, this is a great place to go and find out or obtain all of that information as well. Right beneath that, I have my office hours. Again, I'm on the Menifee campus. My office is in the 3000 building. The room is 3003. Below that, I have listed my on-campus office hours, and then I also have listed my online office hours. Typically, I will be available online all the time on Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. Those are my office hours. You can find me or meet with me in what I call Professor Farrar's meeting room. It's a virtual classroom, if you will, and you can just pop in if you have questions regarding your course or assignments or any other questions for that matter. And if I typically, again, the times and the day are the same. If by chance it's going to change for a week, I will make sure to notify you of any changes well in advance. I am also available at other times by appointment, and email, of course, is the best way to get in touch with me. Now, if you do email me, and here we are in about the middle of the page, please do me a favor and place AJ108-3127 Criminal Investigation and your name in the subject line of the email. And I have an example using my own information for you, so you can see here for our AJ108-3127 Criminal Investigation. Now, why am I asking you to put all that information in there? Well, because of the fact that I teach several classes. This really is the best way to make sure that I know who you are as quickly as possible and what class you're in. That way I can get the information that you're looking for expediently to you, and I don't have to try to figure out what course you're in, etc. So that would really help me out. Also, please keep in mind that all emails should come from your MSJC email account. Please refrain from using your personal email. And then finally, if you are requested to submit a written assignment in Canvas this semester, and you're going to be, so this is important, please submit the assignment in Microsoft Word. If you send a document or you upload a document in another word processor format, let's say WordPerfect or something else, or you send it through a third-party software vendor like Google Docs or something similar, there's no guarantee that I'm going to be able to open it or read it. And if I can't open it, I can't read it. And if I can't read it, I can't grade it. And if I can't grade it, I can't give you credit for it. So that'll help out both of us. Now, if you don't know how to set up your email or you're having other issues on the technology side, you can ask me for assistance and I will do the best I can to help you. But if I can't figure it out, then I'll need you to contact the college help desk for assistance, and they will be able to get things up and running for you. Please note that the syllabus is a living document and subject to change during the semester. Typically, I do not like to change things, but every once in a while, there is a need for a change. If there is a change, you will be made aware of that change when it occurs in the form of an email or an announcement via Canvas. So make sure that your whatever piece of electronic equipment or device you're using is set up to receive all of those emails or announcements or any other type of course notifications. Again, if you have any questions about the class, please email me direct, or you can post it in the general discussion area in a discussion board titled The Donut Shop. Yeah, I know, go figure. And if I can't answer it, perhaps even another student might answer your question. But I monitor that area. It is for general questions, and you can post that information there, or again, you can email me direct. Now, finishing up this section, just understand that all assignments and due dates are listed in the syllabus. They're listed in Canvas as well, but they're here in the syllabus. And it is therefore your responsibility to read and follow all of the information in the syllabus. Now, it's not my responsibility to remind you of tests or quizzes or a term paper or any other assignment, because that information is in fact in Canvas and it's in the syllabus. With that being said, I will do my best to send out a couple of notifications, usually 2, sometimes 3, letting you know that assignments are due. And I will try not to do that to the level of annoyance, but I want to do my part to help you succeed. So I will send out reminders. But at the end of the day, even with all of that said, please understand, I need you to keep track of all of that information. That would really help me out, and I would appreciate that. Okay, so what is this class about? Well, this particular course addresses the techniques, the procedure, and ethical issues in the investigation of crime and evidence. So there's more to it than just finding the stuff that solves the crime. The course focuses on the organization of the investigative process, meaning like how do we organize everything and are there certain steps? We're going to look at crime scene searches and interview and interrogation techniques. How do we run surveillance to get that covert info we're looking for? We'll look at different sources of information. How do we identify suspects? We'll talk a lot about scientific analysis, like fingerprints or DNA or even a polygraph. That is an investigative tool. And then finally, we'll look at the role of the investigator. What is the investigator? What is their role in all of this? And the trial process. So I've listed here below the description the program learning outcomes for the Administration of Justice and Corrections program. I have the course learning outcomes for this course, and then I have the course learning objectives as well. And I'm not going to read through all of these. I'm going to let you go through those so you can see exactly what this course has to offer to you. Now, next up will be the textbook. So the book we're looking for is Criminal Investigation. It's the 12th edition. It is a Pearson published book. I highly suggest that you obtain the textbook. I know a lot of times my students will ask, well, do I really need the textbook? The book is good for a couple of reasons. One, because you need to read the weekly chapters. Two, I try to keep my weekly lectures to about 45 to 60 minutes. So a lot of times I can't cover every single thing in every chapter. And therefore, if you read the chapter in the textbook, there's other information that will help you add context to the discussions that we're going to have. So I highly do suggest that you get the book. Next up will be the California Penal Code. So here we are, if you're following along. So the Penal Code is not the primary textbook, but we will be referring to this book from time to time. Now, if you have a copy, great. But if you don't, that's okay. Don't run out and buy one, because you can access all of the information that you need online. And this book will help you as, again, we discuss several of the different types of codes. Now, every state has their own penal code, if you will. It's the laws, and it's the section numbers that are combined with the laws that are combined with the penalties. So, example, you'll find the section for California, say for burglary, is 459 PC of the penal code. It has the elements of the crime, the definition of the code, and then the penalties as well. So we're talking about the California Penal Code. So again, I have a link to a website called legalinfo.gov, and you can find any code that you want there, so don't worry about it. So just kind of keep that link in mind, because you may need to refer there. Okay, moving on to the course check-in. And this is very, very important, as I said earlier. So this course is going to open on Monday, August 17th, 2020 at 8 a.m. Please make sure that you check in using the discussion board or discussion board number 1 as your official check-in for the class. But also, as part of the check-in, you're going to need to complete that short 10-question syllabus quiz. So again, 2 parts, the discussion board and the syllabus quiz. You're going to have until the following Sunday, or August 23rd at 11 p.m. to complete that process. And I would also highly suggest that you go through that entire orientation week 1 module, so you can see what's in there and navigate around there so you can start to learn where things are inside of your Canvas shell. And at the conclusion of this lecture, I will take you into the Canvas shell and show you what it looks like. But that's going to be your week of check-in. So that's a very important thing for you to remember. So what are some of the course guidelines? Well, this is a somewhat fast-paced class with a lot of reading and information that's going to be provided to you weekly. So you need to keep up with the reading. Please don't just rely on the PowerPoint lectures to get you through the class. Some of the legal terms or definitions at first may be difficult to understand because you may not know them. Therefore, you need to read the textbook chapters carefully to fully understand the definitions and to also add context to the subject matter. And that's another pitch for the textbook. In some cases, you might have to look up a word or a term on the internet, or again in the penal code, or perhaps even in a law dictionary. But at the end of the day, if you have a problem with any concept or any definition or understanding of anything, please let me know, and I will discuss it either in Canvas in the general discussion area, or I will send out the information via an announcement. Chances are, if you have a question, somebody else might have that same question. So with that being said, this isn't a super easy class. Well, yeah, it kind of is, but it's kind of not. But anyway, it does require a lot of work on your part to do well. However, this class will be very rewarding from all of the knowledge that you're going to gain regarding criminal investigations, because I have to tell you, it's not like TV and it's not like your favorite movie. It's a lot different. Okay, so what are some expectations of the class? Well, let's look at some of them. You're going to be required to complete a variety of activities that will hopefully achieve our learning objectives, those things that were listed that we went by earlier. So how do we fulfill these course expectations? Well, first of all, number one, by reading the material. So make sure that you review the PowerPoints, that you read the lecture notes, that you read any articles, that you read the chapter in the textbook. I know, but I need you to read the chapter in the textbook. Number two, view the weekly videos that are relating to each chapter. The PowerPoints with audio, the video lectures like I'm doing right now. Every chapter has a video lecture where I'm going to narrate through the chapter. And any other case study videos or any introductory videos. Every module or chapter, as you're going to see in a minute, opens up with an introduction. And a lot of times I'll have a quick activity or something for you to read or a quick video for you to watch. So make sure that you look at that. Number three, participate in thoughtful and timely discussions via the discussion board. And we'll talk more in depth on discussions in a couple of minutes. Number four, completing the online course matching assessment exercise. And this is new. So every week, corresponding with every chapter, there will be an opportunity for you to take a practice matching exercise. And you can take this as many times as you want. And basically, it'll show some definitions, some words, the key terms, and then you're to match it up with the definition on the other side. And this is a very helpful exercise for you to learn some of the key terms as it relates to criminal investigation. And they'll be broken up by chapters. Oh, and it's not graded. So again, it's a very relaxing time for you to assess yourself and learn. Number five, completing the online and timed quizzes. Number six, complete the online and timed exams. Number seven, complete the case study. And finally, number eight, complete the midterm writing assignment. Now, please note that failure to participate in discussion boards or missing multiple quizzes or exams or failing to turn in any other assignments or missing a combination of these activities may cause you to be dropped from the course. So please do your best to keep track of all of those assignment deadlines, all of those due dates, and I will help you, but you need to help yourself as well. Okay, next up, let's talk briefly about synchronous meetings. So during the semester, we're going to have several opportunities, and we'll have this during week number one, to meet online via Zoom. And these meetings will be announced in advance and will be opportunities for everyone to exchange information, ask questions, time for us to have discussions, cover major topics, or anything else that you want to discuss. Again, there'll be several throughout the semester, and I will give you ample time to let you know exactly what day and what time these meetings will be held. Also, online readiness. How do you know that you're ready for an online course? Well, some of you, this may be your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth, or you've taken a bunch of online classes. So this really, it's not hard for you to grasp, but some of you, this might be your first online class. But either way, please make sure that you're ready for an online class. Now, you've already read about the course expectations. We've covered some of those. But you need to make sure that you understand really what is expected of an online student. And to help you out, I have two links that are listed below. The first is a link to the MSJC online learning page where you will find a lot of helpful information regarding online readiness. And below that, I have another link to the same online learning page, but on this page, there are several video tutorials and other related information to help you gauge your online readiness and some helpful hints and even how to navigate through Canvas. So a lot of good information on those pages. Next up will be technology responsibility, and this is really important as well. So here we are at the bottom of the page. You are responsible for your computer equipment and internet connection independent of the campus. So with that being said, you need to plan. You need to have a backup plan to be able to accommodate any type of computer related issues or problems that happen on your end. Now, if the college, if Canvas goes down, or you can't get into an assignment because the college internet goes out, or whatever the issue is, I will help you out with that, and we'll work through it, and we'll figure out extra time, and we'll do everything necessary. On your end, what I'm asking you to do is have a backup plan. And please don't wait until the very last minute before your assignments are due, because sometimes that's, you talk about Murphy's Law, things that happen. Well, it'll just figure that you'll wait till the very end, and then something will happen with your computer or what have you, and you're not going to be able to have access, and you're going to miss your assignment due date. So please, again, have a backup plan should you have any type of connection or computer issue on your end, okay? To help you, as far as Canvas goes, I've listed some of the functions of Canvas that are typically used more often, and I hope this will make you be successful or more successful. I do say, though, all the time that it's important that you check your Canvas at least 2 times per week to make sure that you're seeing all of the information, you're reading all of the information, you're checking all of the announcements, to make sure nothing has changed, because you don't want to miss anything. But below here, and we're going to look right here, let's take a look at some areas that we need to focus on. The first one are the modules. So here we are right here. And this is where your weekly assignments are going to be. Now, the course is broken up into weekly modules. And I'm going to help by titling each module, so you're going to know exactly which week information is in which module. So example, module 1 might be titled Unit 1, or you might even see Week 1 / Unit 1. So that's going to be Week 1 and Chapter 1. So and I'll show you what it looks like when we go into the Canvas shell. But for sake of conversation, Unit 1 or Week 1 is going to contain all of the assignments needed to complete during that week, during Week 1. And and all the units or the modules, again, they're going to contain all of the video lectures, the PowerPoints, the links to other videos, the articles, your exams, your quizzes, your discussion boards. Everything is in there. And the reason that I put everything in these weekly folders, or these weekly modules, if you will, is that it's a lot easier for you to find everything if it's in one place. And then you don't have to click all over the place to find things. But again, I'll show you what that looks like. Next up, discussions. This is where all the group discussions are going to occur. I will also, again, as I said before, have a discussion board for general questions. It's called the Donut Shop. And you'll see, I'll show you where that's at in the Canvas shell as well. And in these discussions, just kind of pay attention to them, because a lot of times I may post a link to a video or articles or some other type of thing that I want you to see. Or a lot of times I'll post information on events. So make sure that you're looking for all of that information in the discussion area. Next up, announcements. This is where you're going to find all the announcements for the class, including any relevant information on changes to, let's say, exams or quizzes or any other upcoming information that I really need you to know about. Things like job opportunities or testing centers for, let's say, maybe the police officer written test or the PT test, or sometimes they have recruiting fairs. So all of that type of information I will post on an announcement and send it out so you have access to it. Next up is the grade book. This is where you can monitor your grades as they're posted. Now, just kind of a little bit of additional detailed information. If you don't see a grade in a certain block, just do me a quick favor before you email me. Make sure you turn the assignment in. Because typically if you upload something or you take a quiz, some things are automatically graded. So you should see a grade in there. So maybe you just forgot to do it. But that's another way to kind of keep track to make sure your assignments are getting turned in. Also, in the grade book, don't focus on percentages. all of the courses that I teach are graded on points. So look at the point totals. So, and if you do remember turning an assignment in and you're really sure that you did, but you don't see a grade in there, then just email me direct and we'll work together to try to figure it out. But check the grade book first and monitor your grades as you're going through the semester. And then finally, the last area is the extra credit area. And this is an area where you can find the extra credit assignment. An extra credit sometimes is date specific, which means that it might open on a certain date and it might close on a certain date. So please do me a favor, make sure that if you're going to work on the extra credit, make sure that you check the assignment area where it's located and note the dates involved, okay? All right, so how are we going to do all this? What are some methods or ways that we're going to learn all of this stuff? Well, we're going to do this through the audio lectures, the news articles, the visual aids, the videos, the PowerPoints, the class participation via Zoom on the days that we're going to get together, the class discussions, written assignments, quizzes, and exams. Also, you're always welcome to attend any of the in-class presentations of any of my face-to-face classes where I might have a guest speaker. And I will let you know well in advance when those take place. If you need any other type of help under academic support, this is available to all students at the Learning Resource Center on either the Menifee or the San Jacinto campus. And since this is an online class, you can also find online assistance via the LRC, or you can find online tutoring. Last semester, actually the last couple of semesters, if you are not aware, we had our own AJ tutor who was able to help with research and essay writing and formatting and things like that. We plan on having the same type of a tutor this semester. I just don't have the information on who it might be yet. And once I get that information, I will send it out to everybody so you have that available should you want any type of assistance. Again, the school website, we're talking about your Canvas as well. Please check Canvas in your email at least twice a week for class announcements, PowerPoints, assignments, the class syllabus, links to articles, or any other type of information. Because remember, again, at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to monitor Canvas for any changes, and it's your responsibility to keep track of all the dates. Okay, so next up is the Student Code of Conduct. Now, because this is an online class, there's not a lot for me to really say. The Code of Conduct is available in the MSJC catalog, and I do encourage everyone to read it. And if you don't have the catalog, you can look at one in the library, the enrollment office, or you can actually find it online. My only thing to kind of discuss briefly is to just watch your language when using discussion boards or similar. And I just want everybody to remember that we're all different, thank goodness. Otherwise, the world would be kind of a boring place. But with that, it means that we all have some difference of opinions on things. And part of discussions and discussion boards is to learn different aspects from different people. Again, because we're not all robots and we don't always think the same. So with that being said, I'm just asking that we all be professional in our conduct. And yes, we can respond back to somebody, but I just want everything to be respectful, to again understand that we all have different opinions, and we want to hear those opinions because we might learn something new. And that's really what discussion boards are about. It's a chance to kind of think about something and maybe even research it, and then maybe even consider another point of view. And that's the beauty of a discussion board. So enough said about that. But if you really want to know more, the term that we're looking at is called netiquette. And this is kind of the etiquette of cyberspace. It's a set of rules, if you will, for behaving properly online. And there's an author by the name of Virginia Shea that defined the issues regarding online etiquette and discussed them at length in her book called Netiquette. And if you want to view a brief summary of her core rules, you can find them here at the link which will take you to her website. Now, these rules aren't going to answer all of your etiquette, netiquette questions, but they are going to provide you with some basic principles to solve a lot of different dilemmas regarding online conduct. Okay. I also have a couple of other helpful websites that we included in the syllabus. They're also in Canvas, but these will help you look up cases, and there, and we'll talk more about case laws and the importance of case laws. But there's two really good websites. One is Cornell Law, and the other one is supremecourt.gov. And these are some really good sites, and we'll talk more about them as we go through the semester. All right, now the super exciting part. Well, at least the exciting part for me, but maybe not for you. But hey, we're going to go over it anyway. So we're going to talk about exams and quizzes. So the quiz and exam questions will come directly from the textbook, the lectures, the PowerPoints, the video lecture, or other designated articles or videos. Each week, you're going to have at minimum a reading assignment. I know people don't like to read, but hopefully you do like to read. So you're going to have a reading assignment, a video lecture. I'll also post the PowerPoint along with the video lecture, and a short 10-question quiz covering the corresponding chapter, and either a discussion topic or a question. So every week, minimum, that's what you're going to have. And I'll show you what the format, again, looks like when we get into the Canvas shell. But then throughout the course, there's going to be 3 chapter exams, a midterm writing assignment, and a case study. And then don't forget, in each module, in every week where there's a chapter, there's going to be that non-graded self-evaluation matching exercise covering the key terms for the chapter. And it's very helpful to take that assessment to help you learn those key terms. And you can take that assessment as many times as you want. Okay, discussion boards. We touched on it just a little bit earlier, but I want to go over it in a little bit more detail. As I said a few minutes ago, discussion boards are typically reflective in nature, meaning you're thinking. So therefore, they're meant to make you think about a certain subject or topic. Maybe even research it. Maybe even consider other perspectives. And then after all of that, to provide a response. Now, you're going to have a total of 14 chapter discussions and 1 other discussion board, which is the check-in. So there'll be 15 altogether. Each discussion board is worth up to 10 points. Now, when responding to a discussion board, make sure that you read the information or watch the corresponding video, and then respond with a complete, well thought out response. If you want full credit for your response, it needs to be at least 5 sentences in length. Don't don't just copy a response from another student's post. The more focused and thought out your response, the more points you're going to receive. Don't just respond with "I agree." Tell me what you really think about the issue. Because a lot of times there's no right or wrong answer. We're discussing. Now, feel free to respond or comment on another student's post, because that's how we get things going. And in this case, you can do the shorter response if you want, or you can make it longer. You can do the "I agree," "I don't agree," and "here's why," blah, 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 however you want to do that. But backing up, for your initial post, full point credit, 5 sentences. And I think we kind of covered that enough. So remember, I talked about assignments back up here under the exams and quizzes. This is going to be your case study. And I'm not going to go through the whole case study. I'll let you look at it. In the case study, I ask you the questions, so you don't have to figure out what it is that you need to write about. I've got it there. And then I give you some directions. And all this is in your Canvas shell as well. This is an area for the extra credit assignment, and this is in Canvas as well. And it's got some information about it. And here again, I'm asking you what to write about. And here are directions on how you can submit this extra credit. You can actually do that written, make a PowerPoint, or do a video. So you have different choices for the extra credit. All right. So again, and then just finishing up real quick with the extra credit, it's a possibility of 30 points. There could be opportunities for additional extra credit as we go through the semester, but this is the one that's built into our schedule, or our weekly schedule, if you will, already. So I might add things as we go along, but this one is already built in. Okay, so just kind of rehashing a couple of things before then we get to the kind of the weekly calendar or schedule. So this course follows a weekly module or format. I kind of explained that already. All of the stuff, the PowerPoints, the quizzes, the exams, the discussions, and everything is going to be put into these weekly modules. And it's going to be posted and available on Monday mornings at 8 a.m. That's when the module opens. And then everything is due at 11 p.m. on the following Sunday night. So here's an example for week 1. Let's take a look. And here we are in the middle of the page. So this class will officially open on Monday, August 17th at 8 in the morning. That means you will have until Sunday, August 23rd at 11 p.m. to complete everything in the week 1 module. So everything that you need is in that little folder. And again, I'll show you what it looks like. So just to kind of help you out, that will be looking through the entire orientation module, checking in via the discussion board, and taking the syllabus quiz. That's what's going to happen during week 1. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. Now, as a general rule, there are no makeups for assignments. And the reason for that is because you have 6 days to complete each of the weekly assignments. Therefore, it's up to you to get the work done. So set time aside. Now, emergencies, I know stuff happens. I know we're all adults and things happen and life gets in the way, and yeah, I get it. Okay? So I know there are things that come up. Those things that come up or emergencies, I will look at those on a case-by-case basis. Some of the bigger things that tend to come up a lot would be things like jury duty, military deployment, or a verified medical emergency. But again, case-by-case basis. Please keep in mind that it's your responsibility, again, to make time for completing the assignments. Please, 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 I'll say it one more time, please, maybe one more, please, don't wait until the last minute, because Murphy's Law always jumps in. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. Now, again, while I'm going to do my best to remind you of due dates, probably to the point of annoyance, ultimately, it's your responsibility to know when the due dates are and to plan accordingly. And to help you a little bit more, I'm going to talk briefly about some helpful hints, and then we're going to look at how we do the scoring of the class, and then we're going to look at the schedule. So there are basically 3 main issues I see with online students who experience problems. First is the inability to keep track of due dates. You need to be able to self-regulate or self-pace, meaning keeping track of assignment due dates and not waiting until the last hour to do all of your assignments. Now, some of you are just like that. You're built on procrastination. My wife is like that. And it seems to work for her, but the majority of us aren't like that. So I don't want to make you change if you like to do it the other way, but I'm just giving you some helpful hints. Second, thinking that just because there are a lot of, there's a lot of quizzes every week and there's discussion boards every week, so if I miss one, it's no big deal, it doesn't matter. Well, the reality of it is it does, because missing assignments tends to add up quickly, and before you know it, you're behind. And then finally, set up your electronic devices, whichever one you want or all of them, to receive notifications or emails or text messages or however you want to get it, so you can receive that important announcement information once it's posted and sent out. Okay. Again, just a very quick little note here. as we're going to talk about the grading stuff, on the weeks that you have a chapter exam, you're still going to be required to do the quiz. Keep in mind there's a quiz every week, and that's to orientate you with the chapter. And then at the end of, say, 4 or 5 weeks, you'll have a chapter exam. So on one of those weeks, again, you might have the chapter exam and a quiz. My hint to you is always do the quiz first. Orientate yourself with the chapter things and then take the exam. And I'll show you what that looks like. But here's a grading scale. So again, course goes by points. I gave you a little percentage interpretation here, but these are the assignments throughout the course. You have 3 chapter exams. You have the chapter discussion board. So every chapter has a discussion board. You have the discussion board check-in. You have the syllabus check-in. You have the midterm paper. You have your chapter quizzes, your case study, and there's your total possible points. Now, the above point total is subject to change as I might add or remove an assignment, a quiz, or a test, or increase or decrease the number of questions. Typically, I don't. But I might throw in an extra little, maybe even a little extra credit assignment, or I might change something and add a little extra points to it or something. So just keep your eye open for that. But I will send out a reminder letting you know that that's going to happen. One other important thing as it relates to these chapter exams, right here, okay? Your final exam is not cumulative, meaning that it only covers the chapters assigned. So if your final exam covers chapters, let's say, 13, 14, 15, 16, or whatever the numbers are, and we'll look at it in just a minute, that's all that's going to happen here. I know for sure chapter exam 1 is chapters 1 through 5. When we go to chapter exam 2, you're not going to have info or questions from chapter 1 through 5. It's going to be the next 5. Does that make sense? So it's not going to be cumulative, and I do that to keep you focused on what we're trying to learn for that specific block of time. All right, if you do need any assistance of any kind, please, please, please let me know, and I will do everything I can to make sure that you get whatever you need in order to be successful. And I'll let you read through that. Written assignments, this is the information on your midterm paper. This is the case law that you're going to write about. I basically tell you what I want you to write about. I give you the instructions, and again, this is in your Canvas shell, on how your paper is supposed to, the length of it, etc., and what needs to be included. And here's some more information on that. So hopefully that is understandable. And I'm also going to post on Canvas an instructional video on how to complete your paper in a APA writing style. In this video that I'm going to provide to you, it will provide examples on things like formatting, the cover page, the abstract, the reference page, along with some step-by-step instructions. And if you can hear my phone ringing, sorry about that, but we're just going to keep on rolling through it. And also some information on how to cite and format your references. So again, all of that information, everything that you need for the midterm writing assignment is going to be found, or you can find, in the module titled Midterm Essay. And again, I will show you where that's at. So keeping along with the essay, I wanted to talk briefly about plagiarism. So copying even a part of a sentence from a textbook, an article, a news story, or paper without acknowledging the source, or even using quotes is plagiarism. Copying just or a word or two, or changing just a word or two, is still plagiarism. So here's some thoughts, and I have a website if you want to know a little bit more. You can go to plagiarism.com, but my best rule of thumb is, if you did not think of it yourself, or it's not common knowledge, cite it. If in doubt, cite it. And then I have some other things for you to kind of look at to help you along as well. Okay, so as we're kind of coming to a close here, let's look at the schedule on how this looks. Okay, so this is the course outline. Remember, we talked about week 1, and this is your orientation week. And I have the dates here. So the 17th and the 23rd. 17th is a Monday, 23rd is a Sunday. Remember, this module opens at 8 a.m. and it closes at 11 p.m. And this is what you're going to do. Week 2 is going to cover Unit 1 or Chapter 1. All right, and in this module, you're going to have the video lecture, the PowerPoint, the quiz, the discussion, the matching self-assessment exercise. Remember, this is not graded, this one here. And it's going to open at 8 a.m. on the 24th and close at 11 p.m. on the 30th. And you can see these are all built to make it easy. Unit 2, Chapter 2, Unit 3, Chapter 3. Now, remember I said sometimes when you have your bigger chapter exam, so let's look at week 6. We're going to cover Chapter 5. We're going to talk about forensics. Actually, it's a cool chapter. And here are the dates. It'll open on the 21st and close on the 27th. Now, in here, you have the video lecture and the PowerPoint and all the other stuff. You'll have the matching exercise for the chapter, and you have the chapter quiz. Now, and down here, you even have the discussion, but notice there's an extra assignment. In this week, you have to do your chapter exam as well. So take the quiz first. You can even do the discussion board if you want next, but then you still have to do this. You have to take the chapter. And then when you go down to the next one, you can see on week 11, this will be the next time that you'll have. Not every one you have that chapter exam, but here will be your chapter exam 2. Here's the chapters that it's going to cover. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. So everything looks very, very similar. In here it tells you when your midterm paper is due, etc. All right, so let's spend just a couple of minutes and go over to the Canvas shell. And let me change the view for just a second here. So, all right, so it's going to cut off just a little bit, but that's okay. Now, this is a different view. This is my view. So on the left, you're going to have a navigation bar. Now, I have more in mine because I'm the instructor. Yay for me. But when you log in, this is what you're going to see. Okay. And when you scroll down, you'll see things. Let me see. I'll kind of cut this off a little bit. Let's do this. See if it kind of helps us. It's not going to let us do it, but that's all right. Okay. So when you start to scroll down, I've got a little video for you. Here's the course description, some of the learning objectives, a little information about me, and then a video regarding Canvas, etc. And then after you do that, you're going to click here to start here. But what I really want to do is go to modules so I can show you how the modules look, at least from my view. So when you see modules, and you'll see if you click on modules in your view, you'll see somewhat the same thing. You have the home page. Week 1, everything that you need is built into week 1. Remember, I talked about some cool things that I have in here as well. So here's how you access Zoom. Here's information on the Criminal Justice Club, some cool websites, the Bill of Rights, the court system. Here's the module with all your midterm essay information in it. There's your case study. But let's look at your first weekly module. So this is what you'll find. And we're going to walk through this. So every week, you're going to have an overview and introduction. I post the PowerPoint, the video lecture, the matching exercise, the quiz, the discussion, and the summary. Now, because I'm doing this recording in the summertime and this class actually has not started yet, the video lecture may not be posted, but you'll be able to see what I mean. So again, it kind of cuts off a little bit. I'll move this over. But when you log into so you'll go through here and you'll see, so this is your first unit. It's got the overview, the objectives. Then you go down here where it says next, and it'll take you to the chapter introduction. So here's a little bit of introductory info, and then a quick video for you to watch. And then you'll hit next, and it takes you to the PowerPoint. Now, this is not the narrated PowerPoint. This is just the PowerPoint uploaded. So if you don't want to hear my voice and you just want to look at the slides, you can do that by looking right here. Next, you will go to the video lecture. So as soon as I post this video lecture, you'll see it here. But this is basically the page it will be on. And all you have to do is just keep clicking through. Here is the matching assessment exercise that you can take. Okay, again, the view's a little bit different, but here's where that is. And you can do these all in order. Here's the chapter quiz. So this is your 10-question quiz. Oh, and by the way, for the quizzes, I give you 2 opportunities at the quiz. Not for the bigger chapter exams, but the quiz, you get 2 opportunities. And then finally, you have the discussion question. So here's all the information on it. Here's your question. There's a little short video to watch that goes with the question. And then finally, if you were to click one more, you'll finish up your week with the unit summary telling you, hey, you made it, and giving you some additional information. So that's kind of what a weekly module looks like. So hopefully this was helpful to you. And then I'm just back on the home page so you can kind of see what it looks like. All right, I'll just kind of leave it centered like this. All right, so again, I hope it helps. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Again, please go through the entire orientation module. Make sure that you understand that the check-in is two parts. It's the discussion board and the syllabus quiz. Both of those are built into the orientation module. I will be talking to you a little bit later in week 1, and I will be sending out information on our first group meeting in Zoom as well. But until then, that will conclude our syllabus lecture or syllabus review for AJ108.